Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. I have to tell you, the NFL landscape is constantly shifting, and right now, there's a buzz around a name that could redefine the future of the league and definitely shake up the AFC North. We're talking about LaNorris Sellers, a quarterback from South Carolina, whose NFL draft stock is already soaring in early mock projections. And let me tell you, the hype is not just talk. This kid is making waves, and some experts are even saying he has a shot to be the #1 overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Yeah, you heard that right, 2026. It's incredible how quickly things are moving, but what's even more fascinating is how Sellers' profile has caught the attention of NFL scouts, analysts, and even fans who follow the draft process closely. At 6'3" and weighing around 240 pounds, Sellers is built like a prototypical NFL quarterback. That size, combined with his athleticism and arm talent, makes him extremely appealing to teams looking for that franchise quarterback. And if you've been watching the NFL lately, you know that having a reliable, mobile, and talented quarterback is the key to success in today's game. Sellers exemplifies that modern mold, a player who can throw with power, move well in the pocket, and even make plays with his legs. It's this combination of traits that has NFL experts comparing him to some of the game's most dynamic quarterbacks, like Josh Allen or Cam Newton, in terms of playstyle and potential. Now, it's still early days, but the projections are already stacking up. For instance, Luke Easterling from Athlon Sports has him going to the Cleveland Browns with the #2 pick in his early mock draft for 2026. That's a pretty significant projection, and it signals that Sellers' stock is rising fast. Of course, it's important to remember that mock drafts are always fluid, especially this far out from the draft. But the fact that multiple experts see Sellers as a top-tier talent with the upside to be the first overall pick speaks volumes about his talent level and potential. So, what exactly makes Sellers stand out? Well, in the 2024 season, he threw for over 500 yards, with 18 touchdowns and just 7 interceptions across 12 games. Those numbers are solid, but what really catches the eye is his rushing ability. He added 674 rushing yards and 7 rushing touchdowns, which makes him a dual-threat quarterback in the truest sense. That mobility and escapability are what scouts love because they give teams a quarterback who can extend plays, create chaos for defenses, and make something out of nothing. And if you've seen some of his highlight reels, you'd notice that his escapes from pressure sometimes resemble those of Josh Allen, Houdini acts that leave defenders grasping at air. What's impressive about Sellers is not just his physical gifts, but also his mental acuity and poise. Some of his best moments come from his ability to win from the pocket, reading defenses, making smart decisions, and showing a high football IQ. And even though he's still refining his passing skills, his trajectory suggests that with another year of development, he'll become even more accurate and consistent. Analysts like Dane Brugler have pointed out that Sellers is not a one-dimensional quarterback. He's still figuring out some aspects of his passing game, but his physical gifts, intelligence, and composure make him a very promising prospect. Brugler notes that Sellers' development in pass protection and decision-making could elevate him to the top of the draft board if he continues to improve. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting for Browns fans. Cleveland has been in a kind of quarterback limbo since parting ways with Baker Mayfield. They drafted Dorian Thompson-Robinson, signed Deshaun Watson, and added Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, but none of those players have firmly established themselves as the long-term solution. And with Deshaun Watson recovering from that Achilles injury and his tenure with Cleveland not quite hitting the high notes expected when he signed a fully guaranteed 5-year, $230 million contract, the team's quarterback situation remains uncertain. It's no secret that the Browns need to find that franchise quarterback, that guy who can lead them back to the promised land. And Sellers' name is starting to come up as a potential future face of the franchise. Imagine the scenario: the Browns, with their rich history and passionate fan base, picking a quarterback like Sellers early in the draft, a player with the size, arm talent, and playmaking ability to be a true game changer. It would be quite the storyline, especially considering the recent draft history, where Cleveland has tried to find stability at the position. The team has invested in young quarterbacks, but none have quite solidified themselves as the franchise guy. Sellers could be that guy, especially if he continues to develop and impress scouts throughout the 2025 college football season. And speaking of draft projections, ESPN's Field Yates has also chimed in, predicting that Sellers could go as high as the number 2 pick, with the New York Jets potentially trading up to secure him. That's a big deal because it reflects how highly some NFL teams view his potential. But interestingly, both mock drafts have Texas quarterback Arch Manning as the projected number 1 pick, although his recent struggles against Ohio State in Week 1 have caused some questions about his draft stock. Sellers, on the other hand, is gaining momentum, and experts see him as a quarterback with the upside to be the future of any franchise. What makes Sellers even more intriguing is the comparison some analysts make between him and Josh Allen. Yates mentions that Sellers' game shows shades of Allen's playstyle, especially in his escapability and arm strength. That's a huge compliment because Allen has become one of the league's most electrifying quarterbacks. Sellers' ability to escape pressure, combined with his arm talent and decision-making, has scouts dreaming about what he could become with further refinement. His best moments on tape are jaw-dropping, and his overall mobility is superb. As for his development, Sellers has shown steady progress from his sophomore to his junior year. His accuracy improved, and he became more efficient in his decision-making. His completion percentage has been rising, and the way he throws the ball more accurately in the second half of the season indicates that he's learning and adapting. That's exactly what teams want to see, a player who can grow and improve under pressure and coaching. Now, I want to highlight one more aspect that makes Sellers a compelling prospect. He's not just a runner or a thrower, he's a true playmaker. When you combine his physical gifts with his mental toughness and ability to perform in clutch moments, you get a quarterback who can truly change the fortunes of a franchise. If he continues to develop, especially in his passing accuracy and decision-making, he could be the top pick in the 2026 draft. And for Browns fans, that's a tantalizing thought, a future quarterback who could be the foundation of a new era of success in Cleveland. But let's not forget the context. Cleveland's current quarterback situation is still very much in flux. Deshaun Watson is recovering, and the team's recent draft picks at the position haven't quite panned out yet. The Browns have a solid roster, but quarterback is always the most critical piece. If Sellers continues to rise in the draft rankings, it could spark a real conversation about whether Cleveland should consider that future star early in the process. Of course, drafting a quarterback this high is always a gamble, but with Sellers' talent and upside, it's a gamble worth taking. And looking ahead, if Sellers lives up to his potential and continues to develop as expected, he could become the kind of player who transforms a franchise. His physical tools, combined with his mental makeup, suggest that he has what it takes to succeed at the highest level. The NFL is always hungry for that next great quarterback, and Sellers might just be the guy who joins that elite list in a few years. For Browns fans, the excitement is real because the possibility of landing such a dynamic talent could change everything. A new chapter, a new hope, and maybe, just maybe, a new Super Bowl run. So, as we watch his college career unfold and see how he performs throughout this season, keep an eye on him. This is a player who, if he continues his upward trajectory, could be the future of the NFL, and more specifically, a key piece in Cleveland's quest for greatness. The story of LaNorris Sellers is just beginning, and it's one that could have a profound impact on the league and the Browns in particular. Whether he ends up being the number 1 overall pick or a top 3 selection, one thing is certain: his journey is one you'll want to follow closely, especially if you're a Browns fan dreaming of the next great quarterback leading Cleveland to glory. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential future star? Do you think Sellers has what it takes to be the next franchise quarterback for Cleveland? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Browns. Remember, the NFL draft is still a couple of years away, but the buzz around Sellers is already heating up, and it's exciting to think about what the future might hold. I'll be back soon with more updates, more insights, and more news about the Cleveland Browns, so stay tuned and keep that passion burning. This team has a lot of history, a lot of potential, and with players like Sellers, the future looks brighter than ever. Thanks for being with us, and as always, go Browns.